It's my distinct honor and pleasure to be able to introduce our first speaker of the day. When we talk about Massachusetts' role as a global hub of scientific discovery and medical innovation, you're about to hear from someone who has embraced her responsibility to not only protect, but strengthen that status. This summer, the Biotechnology Innovation Organization, the Association for the Nation's Biotech Industry, named Maura Healey the Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as its 2025 Governor of the Year. It did so because of her commitment, her creativity, and most importantly, her success in bolstering biotechnology as a cornerstone of the state's economy. Those of us who live and do business in the Commonwealth can attest to Governor Healey's achievements in making this an attractive destination for both established enterprises and innovative startups. Governor Healey has used state investment and tax investments and incentives, I should say, to ensure that the life science industry in Massachusetts is robust, growing, and achieving life-improving discoveries. And she has also consistently demonstrated that the health of her constituents will be a foremost priority, just recently announcing policies to ensure that vaccines will remain accessible for people of the Commonwealth. I'm very proud to be able to introduce the Honorable Maura Healey.
Good morning. Thanks, Miceal. Miceal, thanks so much. It's been a fantastic partnership between our administration and Bank of America, and I really appreciate that. And this is another example of that. So thank you for all the good and the good work that you do, particularly in Massachusetts. I want to thank Brian Monahan, of course, for his national leadership and support of this forum. I want to thank my friends at MGB for their support of this wonderful forum. I think I've had the opportunity to be here for a few years running now, and to Ann Klebanski and everyone at MGB, one of the world's, not just the country's, but one of the world's greatest hospitals, and one of the reasons that Massachusetts is a healthcare leader. So we have, how many investors do we have in the room? Investors, people who are doing the financing of these life-saving endeavors. Awesome, great. How many of you outside of Massachusetts? All right, I love that. That's great. Welcome, welcome to the Commonwealth. My message is pretty simple to you this morning. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you invest in. Thank you to all the companies for the ingenuity. Thank you to the scientists who are working hard to come up with the ideas and the cures and the treatments. Thank you to everybody here in this ecosystem. I want you to know that there's a reason that Massachusetts is #1 in the country for education, for healthcare, and innovation. We care a lot about you and the things that you do, and we're here to support you. That's my message. So to all the scientists, researchers, entrepreneurs, founders, investors, financiers from around the world, I want you to know Massachusetts wants you. We want your talent, we want your brains, we want your ingenuity, and we want you to help power us forward. Innovation has been in our DNA for 250 years. So a little history lesson, just a few miles from here, there was a great battle on Bunker Hill. A few miles to the west, shots rang out in Concord and Lexington, Massachusetts, and the result was the birth of this great country. American democracy in America was born right here in Massachusetts. And that revolutionary and evolutionary spirit continues to this day. I'm proud that Massachusetts, among other inventions, we are home to the first school in the country, the first library, the first university. We're home to the first public park. We invented the computer, the polio vaccine, the first cancer treatment, mRNA, just to name a few. So it's who we are, and it's what we invest in. And I say that especially at this time, because it is a challenging time. Certainly hurt by devastating federal cuts that we've seen that threaten the foundations of medical discovery and research and the economic benefits that all of this bring. It's not good. It's not good for our country. It's not good for American competitiveness. And it's not good for people around the world who will benefit from these discoveries, these innovations, and this research. But I'm here to tell you that Massachusetts, we appreciate you, we value you. We want to see more come here to this incredible ecosystem. I'll tell you, there is no ecosystem like this anywhere, not just in the country, but in the world. The proximity of those who are doing the science, who are doing the clinical trials, who are working at our teaching hospitals and academic medical centers, the venture and investment community, all right here in such proximity. It's this incredible ecosystem. And it, of course, extends beyond life sciences. I'm putting $100 million into an applied AI hub to help and be part of this synergy that's going to help more quickly bring online cures to diseases and treatments. Lilla Sciences the other day, flagship pioneering, just one example. It's all AI-generated work. I toured their facility and I learned all about autonomous experiments that are just powered 24/7 by AI, and what that means in terms of speeding up discovery and invention. All that's happening right here in Massachusetts. And I'm so excited about what this means, not just for our state, but for the world. And my message is, Massachusetts believes in you. Massachusetts has your back. Recently, I referenced the devastating federal cuts. Here's what I did in response. I proposed we put $400 million into medical research. $400 million in the state into medical research. We brought together leaders from science, healthcare, education, and industry to understand the impact and how we could respond. And what I launched was this DRIVE initiative, DRIVE, Discovery, Research, Innovation for a Vibrant Economy. DRIVE, $400 million to medical research. Now, what this will do is inject into this existing ecosystem funds that will help us deliver innovations, create jobs, and advance cures. It's not just about filling gaps, though, left by federal cuts. It's a forward-looking strategy that says we're investing in science and innovation. And I hope we can leverage that with dollars from the private sector. Last week, I was on the campus of another great hospital, that's UMass Memorial Medical Center, to talk about DRIVE and the impact of research. And I met a young man named Jonathan who at 17 was diagnosed with an acute form of leukemia. Years of treatment, in and out of remission. The cancer just kept coming back. But because of the innovation, because of the research in this state, and because we have people who not only can do the research and develop the technologies, but people in hospitals and teaching hospitals who can actually deliver then and implement, Jonathan got access to CAR T-cell therapy to reprogram his own immune system to attack those cancer cells. Now he's 25, in remission and doing great. He stood by me at the press conference. He's a communications major at Worcester State University. And so I put him to work, and he did a great job at the podium. But, you know, that's what's possible. And that's why, to me, you know, I applaud the work that you do. It's about giving hope. It's about saving lives. It's about building and making a healthier world. And Massachusetts science saves lives. Massachusetts science saves lives. Look, I'm the governor. I'm a homer, okay? I'm going to cheer for my state and all that happens. But it extends more broadly, of course, outside of Massachusetts. I will say that in our state alone, though, the federal funding research that I referred to was creating over $16 billion in economic activity annually in our state. The ROI on that is 2 to 1. I'll also say that 1 in 10 research jobs is here in Massachusetts. 1 in 10 research jobs in the entire country, right here in this ecosystem that you're a part of these next few days. And nearly half the jobs created by research investments are, of course, in other industries. The construction jobs, the real estate jobs, the legal jobs, the hospitality, the retail, all of that is part of the ecosystem that grows with the investment in science, research, innovation, and life sciences. Your work drives our economy, and supporting it is central to our economic strategy. One of the first things I did when I was elected governor is my team, we drafted and filed, and I got to sign a $4 billion investment in economic development in the state. One of the important things it did was double down on our investment in life sciences. And, to me, it's very important that we continue that work through our Massachusetts Life Sciences Initiative for another decade of investment in partnership. There is a reason that Massachusetts is the global hub of life sciences. It's because this investment was made years ago, and I wanted to reaffirm that commitment. Now, as part of that, we increased annual tax credits to job-creating medical innovators by 33% to over $40 million that we were able to give out. We also established, as I mentioned, this $100 million AI hub to help spark and scale the startups that are using AI to revolutionize medical discovery and so much more. So we believe in science, we believe in research, we believe in discovery, we believe in innovation. We also believe that it's worth doing what we need to do to alleviate needless suffering, to reduce illness, and to bring hope to frightened families. I have spoken too about some of what I've seen from RFK Jr. at the helm of HHS. I'm really clear. I'm the daughter and granddaughter of a nurse. I've benefited and seen the impact of healthcare and investment in healthcare and those who are on the front line providing it. And I'll just say this. In response to RFK Jr.'s taking away vaccines and essentially, it seems to me, working or trying to systematically dismantle public health infrastructure in this country. And that's on top of the cuts we already saw from NIH. I mean, make no mistake about it, this country, the exponential growth we've seen in GDP over the last 70 years has something to do with the fact that the federal government made investments in science. That's why we lead the world when it comes to life sciences and healthcare. It's why we have what we have in terms of incredible defense systems and the like. And so much of that pioneered right out of Massachusetts. These things I think are important for American competitiveness and for leadership in the world. And in the face of the decision to blow up the CDC, I don't know how else to describe it, I directed my public health commissioner to write a prescription for vaccines for anyone in the state who wants them. And because I'm a team player and all about teamwork, well, I mean, I don't understand. I said before, I don't think that measles is the souvenir people are looking to return from Disney World, And it seems to me parents should not have to fear that diseases like measles, mumps, rubella, chickenpox, polio, right, reemerge. So I'm working here in Massachusetts to make sure that everybody has access. And I thank the insurers who stood with me to say we're going to cover it, and the pharmacies and pharmacists who stood with me and said we're going to make sure we are there to administer it. And it's an example of what we need to do in this time. It's also important that states are working together. And I've organized a coalition of states around shoring up public health infrastructure, because we don't know what the federal government is going to do, but somebody needs to be there to monitor disease. Somebody needs to be there to make sure that we're doing all that we can to protect the health and welfare of our residents. So, look, you're in Massachusetts. If you want a vaccine while you're here, you can get a vaccine. Look, in all seriousness, I'm so delighted that this forum is here. And I'm delighted that so much is happening in our state. I think we do it better than anyone, and we're always looking to get better. I love that folks are coming from around the world and from around this country. Massachusetts, we've always benefited from people who come from all over to Massachusetts to study, to do research, to start companies, to grow businesses here. We've got over 100,000 foreign students who travel to Massachusetts every fall to study in our universities and our colleges and our graduate schools. Speaking of students, I want to welcome a young woman from Fort Myers, Florida in high school. I just met you, and I'm so glad that you came up because you want to grow up to be a biomechanical engineer, maybe, but isn't that inspiring that we have a young person who's come here because she sees the importance of the work that all of you are doing. So enjoy the next couple of days and wonderful sessions. And again, thank you to Bank of America, thank you to MGB, and thank you to all out there who are in the business of moving this world forward.